There were lots of mistakes I made when I came to Canada, from phone bill to housing to transportation. I mean, it was overwhelming, even to groceries. I'm going to be sharing my experiences, the mistakes I made. My name is Ada Aquari. You can call me the Warrior Mom. I love to be called the Warrior Mom. So let's dive in. So, settling into Canada in the first 30 days. Now, I landed in an Airbnb in Vaughan, which was very close to the airport. I was just like, let me just find a place to stay first, and I can think. But that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that at all. I should have, known where I was going to stay, where I had planned to stay, land there, and then find my feet, find a house, find different resources. But I landed, in Vaughan. And at the time, I thought I was going to stay in the Toronto area because for me, hospital, I'm not like, my family dynamics is not like every other family who just comes in and stays where their friends are, or where they feel like it's nice or it's cheap. I was looking for a hospital where my son will get his care, and for that very reason I used the hospital to decide my location, where I was going to live. The hospital was a very big factor for me to decide where I was going to live. And when I realized that at a hospital that was like so an hour, 15 minutes away was so good with children with special needs, Tobina's whatever the things that Tobina had going on with him was better managed there. Imagine how I had to be going to go and look for house, view houses in that area. Now, that brings me to transportation, because Uber finished me, because I had to always go see the house, right? And view it, and then you come back home and they tell you the landlord did not choose you. Landlord didn't choose you, and I'm like, what? After spending 175 to go, 175 to come back, and they're telling me that landlord did not choose me. Landlord must choose me, because why I said 175 is because I usually go with everybody in the car and we do Uber XL. So we just go out together, we come back together. So it was so expensive. $85, $90 to go, and another $90 to come back, and then you get a no. Unlike if I had just got an Airbnb in the city where I was going to stay, it would have just been cheaper to go look for houses around. But I just landed, elsewhere, and I was going to another different city to go and look for a house because the hospital in that city was highly recommended. That's a very big mistake. So if you're coming to Canada, please decide where you're going to stay. If you're a family with a special needs child, research on the hospital that you're going to use for your son or your daughter, and make sure that your Airbnb is in that location so that it's easy for you to go view houses. Because trust me, a lot of landlords don't want you to, like, they don't want new immigrants. They won't say it, but somehow it's what's in their hearts, because they're like, oh, you're going to pay the first month's rent. What about the second? What about the third? You don't have a job. So they avoid new immigrants. And if they will take you, you have to, put multiple months together. You have to pay for multiple months just so that they are confident that, so in this period of time before your money is finished, you'll have gotten a job, that kind of thing. So you need to make sure that your Airbnb is in the location where you are going to have to get a house, and the hospital, you've put that into consideration as well. Another thing that I was struggling with when I settled in was grocery shopping. I was always doing naira and dollar, the equivalent, like the what's it called, conversion. It was crazy. I would just say, oh my god, this banana, are you telling me this banana is like 3,000 naira? For what? For how many? Like, I was doing that a lot when I came in 2023. I was always converting my dollar to naira, or for every expense or every item I see in the grocery store, I'll be converting it and I'll be screaming my head off. It was quite funny to do, and I mean, understandably so. I hadn't started earning dollars, so that was my naira going. Do you understand? So that was all the things that I was thinking about. And of course, when I came, I thought that Wi-Fi was on the road. Like, when you're going, Wi-Fi is on your phone. When you're passing, it's entering. And so I was being very economical with my phone bill. I was like, oh, I don't need internet. I thought there was Wi-Fi everywhere. Guess what? That was a lie. I had to run back to go and get internet on my phone because I needed it to move around, to use the map, to use the busing system. So I had to go back and get a proper phone bill that includes internet. Another thing with settling in was, of course, I already mentioned Uber. I didn't realize that Uber is very expensive. Oh. To move around here, you need a car, and a car here is not a want; it's a need. It's a necessity. Because you'll be moving around multiple places, and then you have a family. It will be difficult to just, be doing Uber and using the bus all the time. I remember using the bus and I got lost because I didn't understand how, the bus stop system, I didn't understand it and all of that. The weather as well. You guys, I left my house with a plain jacket looking really nice. And by the time I got to where I was going, I didn't understand the weather. And I'm like, is this not the same? Like, am I not on the same streets? Like, why did I walk from my house to the nearest ATM and then I'm coming back and I'm like, no, I have to use Uber to go back home because I was not understanding the wind and the cold that was happening. So these are the things that dawned on me when I settled in. Now, the unexpected shocks I had when in the first 30 days, um, I already mentioned it, the rent. I didn't know that getting a house was very difficult. I didn't know that I had to be doing interview to get the house. As in, you already have your money, but you and like 4 or 5 other people are interested in a house, and the landlord will be interviewing you. I didn't know that I was going to get interviewed for a house. So I was doing interviews back to back, doing presentation about who I am and what I bring to the table and all of that. So that was shocking. Another thing is people here are so nice. Even me, I'm still learning to say sorry for, like, if I'm in your way. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Like, we say sorry a lot here. I learned that people are really polite. They're really nice. They're kind. They're really kind-hearted people. Well, I have come across kind-hearted people, and so they're always polite. Oh, please, and then sorry a lot. So even me now, I say sorry a lot. So that's another thing that came to me as a shock. We say sorry for everything. Um, Transportation. Yes, I already mentioned you have to have a car because moving around in Uber is super expensive. The busing system, you need to really understand the routes for you to be confidently taking the bus. The weather, I came with jackets, but what jackets I came with was child's play compared to the weather that I saw here. It was crazy. So that was one thing that I had to, work on. Now, one of the mistakes I made a couple of mistakes, and I'll be sharing that with you because it will help you when you come into Canada. So, as a special needs parent, you have different benefits, financial benefits that will come in very handy to help you with your child's expenses or with childcare. And had no idea that there was anything like that. So I was doing things on my own. I was spending money for things that I could have gotten financial support for. I didn't think, I'm coming from where such things don't exist. So when I came here, I was doing things on my own. I didn't know that there were financial supports for so many things for children with special needs. I had no idea. And so I learned the hard way. I had spent a lot of money that I couldn't be refunded. I bought his bath set. I bought his stroller. I was just spending money for things that I didn't realize he would have qualified for if I had applied for the financial benefits. And so I learned that mistake. I learned a very valuable mistake to do more research, to do a lot of research as regards to financial benefits in whatever province or region that you are. Make sure that you ask questions about what your child's benefits will be. If you don't know, if you're not getting the right things on the internet, please ask for a social worker. They are the best people to guide you through what you need. Now, another thing I made mistake with was not having a family doctor. Now, I thought that because there are lots of walk-ins around and ER to go to, I didn't realize that having a family doctor was necessary. Please, you need a family doctor. You don't want your medical records all over the place. You go to work in here, go to work in there. You also need a family doctor because they are able to have all your records in one place and follow up with you. Do you understand? So I didn't know it was necessary. By the time I knew that I needed a family doctor, I needed one urgently, and I did not realize that there was wait that you have to get a family doctor that's accepting new patients, like family doctors accepting new patients. Back home, you go to hospital, you see doctor, but here I think the doctors here need to be able to have the number of patients they can manage, so they're not just opening their doors to so many people. So by the time I found a family doctor who was close to me, I now had to wait for him to start accepting new patients before, I was able to register with the family doctor. So please make sure that's one of your to-do list. It's one of the things on your to-do list to get a family doctor because they come in really handy and they're able to support you medically. They're able to have all your records and they're able to track your medical history and track the things they want you to do in the future. So please, very necessary. Another mistake I made was learning coping on my own. I was just doing things on my own. I wasn't asking for help. But let me tell you, there's power in community. And don't let people tell you that, oh, avoid Nigerians abroad. I know that people have had bad experiences, but I have had beautiful experiences. Please look for a community around you, Nigerians in your region. For me now, I'm in a group that's it's Nigerians in the city where I live, and it's a very fantastic resource because a lot of people have been here way before you, and you can ask questions and they would answer you. I also belong to a group of special needs mom in Canada, and in that group there are lots of other people in different provinces that will guide you. It doesn't matter where you are, we are all in Canada and we are special needs parents, and you find out that someone has walked the path that you are about to walk and they are willing to help you. Another mistake I made was not taking care of myself. Here, there's no help, there's no driver, there's no nanny, there's no cook, there's no cleaner. You're doing everything yourself. And especially for me, who has a special needs child, I was overwhelmed, I was overworking, I was always tired. Back to the benefits I mentioned, do you know that there's something called respite services where you have someone come into your house over the weekend to come and take care of your special needs child? I didn't know that. I was coping on my own. And it was my social worker who lets me know about that and applied for me. And now I have someone who comes to my house every weekend for 3 hours, and I go to sleep, watch a movie, or take my other children out for ice cream or whatever. I have that time away. Now, it's not because of anything, it's just because I need to take care of myself. Most times you find me just being in the house sleeping because there's somebody watching my son. I'll just go and sleep. Every mother who is taking care of a special needs child needs some time to themselves to rest. That rest is very important. So relying on my own mental and emotional strength was a very big mistake because I wasn't sharing, and so I didn't know that such a thing existed. But now I've been having these visits every weekend, and it's been very, very helpful to my mental health and to my emotional health and even to my physical health because you need to rest. Now, my advice to newcomers with special needs, without special needs, plan for unexpected expense because they would come. They would always come. An unexpected expense could be the multiple months of rent that you have to pay, the groceries that you have to buy because there are things that you will need in the house. Winter clothing. Trust me, the winter clothes you buy today it might not be the same winter clothes that will work for tomorrow. So you find yourself having to have multiple, one or two jackets or thermal wears. Like I tell people, I say the weather decides for you. Some people have a high threshold for pain, for cold, sorry, for cold. So with the jacket I wear and go out and be standing solid. Another person can go out and they'll be like, oh my God, I'm feeling extremely cold. The weather decides for you. So the weather and your body type decides the winter jacket you're going to buy. And sometimes you have to buy multiple because you might not really get it right the first time. You buy one and you walk out of the store feeling all good, and then the next day you come out of your house and you can't believe what happened to you. So yes, these are unbudgeted expenses that you need to plan for: housing, winter gadgets, groceries. Because here, bulk buying, we're coming from a place where we used to buy in bulk. Here you can't buy in bulk. Oh. You can't buy in bulk, so you buy as needed. Because the only thing I think you buy in bulk is protein, the meat, the fish, and all of that. You have to find places where you can buy them in bulk. But there are other things like gari, yam, except you are able to bring it in from Nigeria. Buying in bulk here in an African store is very, very, very expensive. So it's not something that I would say you should buy. You know, if you can bring from outside, it's fine. If you're able to buy, it's fine as well. Transportation costs, budget for it, because you're going to have to be going back and forth for all the registrations that you need to do. And my advice to you is, please do your drive test immediately you land. If you're able to, please do it. Why? Because the money you're spending on Uber is going to buy you a car comfortably. It may not be a fancy or new model, but it will be something that will help you move around. So please save that cost and go and get yourself, go and do your driving tests and get your driving license so that you can buy a car. The cost and the inconvenience not having a car comes with is way higher than the convenience and of having a car. So please, that's one thing I would want you to factor in as a newcomer. Another thing I want you to also note is, please find a community. Don't be like other people who say, oh no, I want to do it on my own. Don't belong to a group with Nigerians. Please don't do that to yourself. As a newcomer, you need to find a community that would help you. There are people who have walked the path you're about to walk on, and they'll be very, very willing and happy to help you. So please find a community. Be careful too, because there are also people who have taken advantage of newcomers. But I can guarantee you that the good is definitely higher than the bad. So please find a community in your area that's going to help you. Give yourself grace. Rome was not built in a day. So whatever it is you're not able to accomplish, take your time and take it slow. You will eventually get there. But please take it slow and give yourself grace. I forgot to mention another cost that is very necessary: a printer. There are lots of things you need to print for yourself when you land. There are a lot of things you need to print for your children, even getting them into school. There's a lot of printing that goes on when you land Canada. So please, a printer is very, very necessary for you to own in your home, because it will come in handy when the applications start to roll in. And then for families with special needs children, please, if you're able to avoid a house that has a staircase, please do. That was one thing I did not think about when I was looking for a house. I checked every other thing except the convenience of carrying my son up the staircase. Don't forget, this is somebody's house, so I can't modify it. Even though we qualify for them to modify the staircase, and by modification I mean putting a chair that can help him, take him upstairs with the rail, even having a ramp outside the house. These are things that you can do to modify your house to suit the wheelchair, but you can't do it to somebody's house. So I didn't factor all of that in, and that's why I'm appealing to you. If you're trying to get a house, please factor in the number of staircases that you have, so that you don't find yourself having to carry your child on a wheelchair up and down, especially because of your back. Also, aside from the staircase, or taking a house that has staircase, there's also I think that's called apartments, the ones that have the elevators. So you can also consider that as well, because you can wheel your child in, go in the elevator, go up, and you're in your house. And your house is like everything on the same floor. That's another thing to consider if you're a family with a special needs child. So it will be very helpful in the long run. I hope that you've learned one or two things from this video. I'm more than happy to share more with you as time goes on. But for now, these are the things that I experienced, my lessons learned, and the mistakes that I made in the first 30 days of moving to Canada. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to anyone and everyone who needs this. Bye for now.